Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava. Sumo, Tanzen Gatso, Duden City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temples and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, how do you do? These are greetings in different languages.
Aishiteru. Shanai. Hola, amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Yumi. Yapi. Purin purin. Konbanwa.
This evening we practice one of the 8 primary deities, Guru Padmasambhava. And Guru Padmasambhava was invited to come to Tibet by King Trizong Tijin. Primarily due to the Guru Santaraksita was already propagating Buddha Dharma in Tibet. However, the opposition power in Tibet was too strong. So Guru Padmasambhava Santaraksita suggested to the King Trizong Tijin to invite Guru Padmasambhava, who was in India then, to come to Tibet to spread Buddha Dharma. Because Guru Padmasambhava had more transcendent power and had the capability to subdue or to win over the opposition power in Tibet. And also obstructions by the intangibles. So Guru Padmasambhava was in Tibet for about 50 years, disseminating Dharma there. The Tibetans refer to Guru Padmasambhava as Guru Rinpoche, which means the precious teacher or the precious Guru.
那么你们看那个莲花生大师的印画。
So the hagiography of physical emanation of Guru Padmasambhava, in this book, it mentioned about the whole life of Guru Padmasambhava. It talks about the biography of Guru Padmasambhava. So during the early transmission of Tantrayana was primarily led by Guru Padmasambhava, and for the latter transmission, primarily by Guru Atisha. At that time, there were two cultures that influenced Tibet. One was from India, and the other one was from the Central Plains. So there were two cultures influencing Tibet. And the Tibetan characters came from Sanskrit and adopted to become Tibetans. And most tantric visualization starts with the sit syllable or mantra syllable. So it starts with the mantra syllable to transform into the main deity Yidam. So there are steps in the visualization. Generally, first you visualize the emptiness, and then you visualize the appearance of the sit syllable in the sky, which transforms to become the Yidam, the main deity. That's the steps in visualization. Therefore, you should know the mantra syllables or the sit syllables, either Sanskrit, which was used in India to visualize the Yidam, or you use the Tibetan characters to visualize the Yidams. Either one will work, because Tibetan characters were from or came from Sanskrit characters. That's why there are also steps in visualization. Some people visualize the Yidam directly, but actually they should first visualize emptiness or the sky, and then the sit syllable appears in the sky, which is the sit syllable of the Yidam. And it transforms to become the Yidam, the main deity. The Yidam was transformed from the mantra syllable. And the most important or the most fundamental mantra syllables are Om, Ah, Hum, the 3-syllable mantra. Om, Ah, Hum. Let me tell a joke. Late at night, this may not be funny. It's a joke that's not
这个
funny.
门面的抢匪在街上
A masked
这
robber
抢劫到一个衣冠楚楚的男子，
was robbing
用枪指
a
着
gentlemanly
那个人讲，
man
把你的
and
钱给我。
stick his gun and said, "Give me your money."
那个人讲，
And
你
that
怎么可以这样子
person
做呢？
said, "How could
我
you do
是
this to me?
税务局的官员。
I'm a
抢匪就讲，哦，
tax
那么把我的钱还给我。
collector." And then the robber or the bandit said, "Then return my money to me."
真好笑吗？
Is that funny?
我们有时候在讲，
Sometimes
这个没有执照的叫做抢匪，
we say
有
those
执照的
without
就是税务局。
permits are called robbers, but the one with permits are called the
我们
tax
纳税是
department,
应该的啦。
tax collectors.
那些那
To be
个
taxed is the
那
norm.
会计师的跟我们讲，
The accountants
你不
told
要
us,
说不纳税，
don't say that you don't want to pay
纳税
taxes.
给政府，你就把纳税
Paying
当
taxes
成
to
那
the
个
government
最大的慈善机构，
should be
国
likened
家最大的
to
慈善机构，
the
那就
greatest
会
charity.
心理上会比较平衡一点。
Then you would feel at ease. So the government is the greatest charity
有一个中
in
年
the
的
country.
妇女找这
A
个
middle-aged
医生看
lady
病，
went to see a
她为了
doctor
显示自己的年轻啊，
and to
当这个医
show
生
that
问
she's
她
still
年
young,
龄的时候，她
when
说
the doctor asked her about her
我
age, she said
18岁，我想
18.
她18岁。于是医生在病历卡
So
上
the
写道
doctor wrote on the
失
record
去记忆力。
memory loss.
老师问小明
The teacher asked me,
有什么能够根治白发的方法吗？头发
is
发
there a way where we
有什么
can
方法可以？
cure white hair?
小明讲有，
And Ming replied, sure.
每天早上
Every morning,
彻底的把头发理光，
shave your head.
最好根除白发的方法
The
方
best
法就是
way
你出家，
to solve your silvery hair is to become ordained
啊，你们看过
and
师
shave
兄有
your
白
head.
白头发吗？
Have you ever seen my white hair?
这就是彻底根治白发的
That's
方
my
法。
solution to white hair.
哦，我经常忘掉那个字。
I forgot how
一个
to
日旁
pronounce
一个
this
金，念成
name,
什么？
pronounce this Chinese character.
是。静。哦。印尼。
From Indonesia,
施连静，他不是在这
Si
里吗？
Lian Jin. Is
不
she
是啊。
here?
啊，施连静法师，上师啊。
A referent? Oh, master. Oh,
真的是
master.
失去记忆力。
Oh, I have memory loss.
失去记忆力，没关系啦。
She's a 法师 or master. But it's okay, because at this age, it's normal to be forgetful. And I didn't do it intentionally, okay? Your disciple greatly admire Guru Buddha, your and Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva's vow to never become a Buddha before hells are emptied. Since the heavenly realms and the three lower realms are not conducive to spiritual cultivation, how does Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva salvage and deliver beings there? If our yidam is Siddhigarbha, how should we apply such a grand vow? Thank you for your advice. Question by Si Lianjin. We refer to Siddhigarbha as the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva with the greatest vow. And he appears in many different forms. In Tibet, he's holding a nectar vase, and this other hand is holding an auspicious grass. Is that right? The Siddhigarbha in Tibet, what is he holding? One is holding the auspicious grass, and the other one a nectar vase. Right? Do you know? If you do, please raise your hand. Right? Yes? You nodded your head. And the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva in China is riding on the mythical animal with one leg called the listener. That's his pet. Every bodhisattva has his or her pet. Like the pet of Mahabrahma is the white geese. And the pet of Shiva is the white ox. And Garuda is the pet of Vishnu. Vishnu, the golden-winged bird. And the pet of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is the single-legged mythical animal, the listener. And he's holding an authoritative staff, and one hand is holding a bright pole. And then there's another form that's sitting on top of a lotus throne, holding a bright pole and holding a staff. That's how Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva looks. And he has this vow to never become a Buddha before hells are emptied. I think it would be very difficult for him to become a Buddha because it's impossible for the hells to be empty. Up till now, they are never empty. Hells are never empty. So, why is that? Hells are never empty. Because in human world, we can understand Buddha Dharma better, and upon understanding it, we can practice diligently. Otherwise, without understanding, it's impossible to cultivate spiritually. That's why it's difficult for the animal beings to cultivate. Have you seen a duck cultivating spiritually, or a chicken? So, the song, Old MacDonald.
天边养小鸭，咿呀咿呀哟，呱呱呱，呱呱呱，
Old MacDonald has a
呱
farm.
呱呱呱呱，它就会呱呱呱而已啊。
So the
老
ducks
先生有快递，咿呀咿呀哟。他在天边养小羊，咿呀咿呀哟，咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩咩。
Old MacDonald has a farm, and he had a duck, and he had a sheep.
他们哪里懂得修行？
So they don't know how to cultivate spiritually. Or geese in the animal realm, these beings, those who fly in the sky, crawl on the ground, swim in water, it's very difficult to cultivate spiritually for them. And in the hungry ghost realm, they are starving. That's also very difficult for them to cultivate. And in hells, just incessant suffering, especially the incessant hells, which is you suffer non-stop. That's called the incessant hells. It's not like the pain that it would lessen, it would decrease for a period of time and then it get worse again, but that's not the case. But in this incessant hells, the suffering is non-stop. It's continual. And that's called the incessant hells. It's very difficult to cultivate there. And you think that it will be easy in the heavenly realms, but actually no, it's difficult too. Because there's no time to suffer. They just have so much enjoyments. So why would they want to cultivate spiritually? They're just enjoying themselves. That's why Jesus stated, for a rich person to go to heaven is like a camel passing through the eye of a needle. You know, the eye of a needle, how small it is? How could a camel pass through the eye of a needle? Jesus states that because a rich man has too much enjoyments. Even in the human realm, it's difficult. If they have lots of power or lots of money, it's difficult for them too. They have great fortune. They have lots of privileges and power. They're just enjoying their power and their money. So that's why it's a very famous saying that Jesus said, that for a rich man to cultivate spiritually, no, he said, for a rich man to go to heavens is likened to a camel passing through the eye of a needle. So therefore, if in becoming ordained, you don't want to be too rich. We all call ourselves the poor monks and nuns. Because if they have lots of money, they don't want to cultivate spiritually. That's why you can only cultivate spiritually in the human realm, because there is suffering. Like when Sakyamuni Buddha gave teaching, he always said, human life is full of suffering. He's reminding everyone about suffering. And because you suffer, you walk the path of spiritual cultivation. And eventually you would affirm or attain the Tao. So if our yidam is Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, how do we apply this vow? If you're a Bodhisattva, you just give to sentient beings. All those beings in hells, hungry ghosts, and animal realms are also sentient beings. You transform yourself to become an animal to be together with them and to teach them the Dharma. So therefore, when Sakyamuni Buddha was cultivating bodhisattvahood, he was once the king of deer, the king of elephants, the king of monkeys, peacocks. Yeah, he was king of peacocks. Of course. So he also taught animals. That's the spirit of Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. Doesn't matter which realm you are in, you always help sentient beings there. That's the spirit of Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, and that's his vow. He's referred to as the savior of the netherworld. So he also teaches Buddha Dharma in hells. And Grandmaster once went to hells to teach Buddha Dharma there. I think I've written it in my books. That's the spirit of Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. So if your yidam is Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, then you can deliver and salvage sentient beings in the 6 rebirth realms. And you take the responsibility of helping sentient beings. So you can actualize your vows in these 6 rebirth realms. That's my answer to Si Lian Jin from Indonesia. Now I will remember how to pronounce his name, Jin. The words spoken by Ming, Xiaoming. Every time I'm taking a history test, I'm very excited because I'm changing the history. I think we've told this joke before. Someone bought a cockroach spray and many cockroaches died.
后来，他
And
这
afterward,
个结果发觉蟑螂越来越多。
there were more and
他
more
觉得蟑螂
cockroaches.
这个蟑螂的药没有效，就去找那个老板
So
卖的那个老板。
he
他
thought
说
that
为什么我
the
买
spray
了这个
did
药
not
回去
work
喷蟑螂，
and
蟑
went
螂越
back
来越多。
to the seller.
那个老板就回
So
答
how come there are more and more cockroaches as I spread them?
如果
And the
这
seller
个
replied,
有一只小孩子的蟑螂死，他们家人
when
都会起来找。
a kid cockroach
那这就是
dies,
蟑螂越来越多的。
its families would come out
这意
looking
思
for
是这个样子，
them,
这个笑
right?
话是这样子。
So that's the joke.
师尊有帮这个动物界超度，动物界超度，也有帮这个地狱道做超度。
So Grandmaster has helped Bardu
以前我也杀了
deliver
不少蟑螂，在台湾比较多。
animal beings,
美国的蟑螂
including
也有，
cockroaches.
好像很小只。
There are many
台
in
湾的蟑螂就
Taiwan.
很大只。
They are huge in Taiwan, but in America, they are very tiny.
你看过美国的老鼠吗？
Have you seen mice in America?
大只还是小只？
Are they big or small?
美国真正的老鼠是很小只。
You know, the real mice in America is very tiny. They could pass through the gap under the doors. The big ones, they're called big mice.
你真的是跟我讲笑话。
Are you telling jokes?
我记得另外有一个名称，
They have a different
有这么
name.
大只的，
Huge
有这
ones.
么大只的，我看过。
Rats.
哇，那个尾巴好长。那个他们不讲。
They're not called mouse. They're
我以前
called
在甘夏路区，
different thing.
我以前住甘夏路，
I used to live in Ganshai Ridge,
Raymond 的山上，
up the hill in
往
Redmond,
东边走的山上，有甘夏路
East Redmond,
请人家来抓老鼠。
and I hired the pet.
他出入的口就放着一个
What's that called?
很黏的东西，
A pet control
他从那边经
people
过就被
to
黏在那里，每一只都是
to
这么
catch
小。
them, and they place the mouse traps. They're very tiny, like this, like as big as my thumb.
真的，美国老鼠，
So
我从来没有看过
American
那么小，
mice are very
门缝
tiny.
都可以钻进去。
And they could pass through all tiny little gaps under the
杀了那么多的
doors.
老
And
鼠，我老鼠
so
我
I
也超
killed many mice, so I Bardo
度
delivered them.
最近我也超度了老鼠，
And
都
recently,
什么都超度了。
I Bardo deliver everything.
因为请了人家来抓老鼠，抓了20几只到地下室去抓，
And the
抓了
pest control people caught about over 20
我
mice
们家为什么老鼠这么
in the
多？
crawl space under the
那个
house.
抓老鼠的人跟我们讲，你这一
How
家
come
算是
there's
少
so
的了。
many? But they told us
你知道
this
吗？
is not many, not considered that
在
many.
山
You know,
边上的那一家，
in the
地
other
下室有
house,
200多只老鼠，
there were over 200
200多
mice
只哎。
in under their house
我们
there,
家
over
那时候
200.
在甘夏路起只有20只老鼠，我
But
已经接了
in-
很多。他说还有
But
200
we
多
found
只
over 20 at our house, and I thought there
我也
were
我也帮他
very
超度
many already. And I Bardo delivered them.
也出正道是很辛苦的，出正道。
So the animal beings suffer greatly.
平时工作非常忙，家中都很少开火，也就是说没有在家里吃饭，
We are very busy, so we rarely cook
在
at
外面
home.
吃饭。
So they always eat
今天
out.
老婆下厨房，
And
觉得非
today,
常幸福。
the wife is
老婆
cooking,
讲，
so I feel
今天的
very
红
happy.
烧肉好吃吗？
And the wife asked, so how about the braised meat? Okay. And she asked again, how about the steamed fish? Just so-so. And she asked, how about the tofu? And I replied, almost there. And the wife complained, how come can't you say anything good? And I said, oh, the rice is so hard. In Chinese, it's like so hard, which is like good hard. So the wife cannot cook. Nothing is good. Wang told Zhang, what are you doing? Oh, I'm buying some face masks for my wife on the internet. Wow, you're so nice, so loving. Oh, don't undermine it. You know, face mask is only a few dollars, but it would keep my wife's quiet for at least an hour. So I want to buy. So you should buy more face masks for your wives. Then you would have some peace and quiet at home. Now we'll get on to the main topic, the Vimalakirti Sutra. The next bodhisattva is Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, precious torch holding Bodhisattva, precious courage Bodhisattva, precious view Bodhisattva. 4 Bodhisattvas. 1 Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, precious torch holding Bodhisattva, precious courage Bodhisattva, and precious view Bodhisattva. So we are talking about these 4 Bodhisattvas today. This first one is Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. That's one of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. When we chant Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra, we know of the 8 great Bodhisattvas: Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, and Viskhambhyan Bodhisattva. Manjushri already.
文殊妙吉祥 ，OK， 就是文殊师利啊。
The marvelously auspicious, that's Manjushri Bodhisattva. It's the same.
所以我念的，高王经里面当然有写到这8大菩萨。
Of course, this is in the Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra. So, Akasagarbha is one of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. So, the great Bodhisattvas are part of this 52 Bodhisattvas. Later on, they are also Manjushri and Avalokitesvara Bodhisattvas. So, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva is truly a great Bodhisattva. He has attained or confirmed the space or the sky. And he also knows that all the Dharma is within the cosmic space. All the Dharma spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha is embodied in the space.
像我们大家看的，为什么要写的雷藏寺呢？
So, like we all see, why do we have to write Lei Zhang Temple?
就是虚空藏。
What does it mean? The Temple of Hidden Thunder.
2个字。
Hidden Thunder. That's Akasagarbha. So when it is silent, it's complete silence. But when it sounds, that's thunder. So to spread Buddha Dharma all over the world, what is the loudest? Thunder. So when I was given this name, Lei Zhang, hidden thunder, is that when it does not make any sound, it is silent. But when it makes sound, then there would be thunder. And thunder resounds all over the world. So the meaning of Lei Zhang is that the sound of thunder resounds throughout the world to embody the true Buddha. So the true Buddha is hidden. So Akasagarbha knows that all Buddha Dharma is embraced or embodied in the sky. So the one that can confirm that all Dharma is within the sky, or the cosmic space includes all the Dharma, or all the Dharma is concealed or hidden in the cosmic space. So he can prove that his body can also conceal or hide all sorts of Dharma, all Dharma. So inside his body, there are pagodas, pure lands, and Buddha Dharma. All the Buddha Dharma is inside his body. Such a great Bodhisattva is called Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva of the accumulation of space. His body is like the cosmic space, storing all the Tathagata Garbha. That's why he's called Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. Now do you understand the meaning? In the past, when we swam at the Topeng Kung, anybody here? Two masters here. In the past, when Grandmaster did the geomancy consultation, Nian Si and Nian Zu also followed me for the consultation. And then we went to Topeng Kung and swam in the river. It was hot. And after we swam, we went home. And my first Dharma teaching was also at the Topeng Kung, next to the stream there. And I gave a Dharma teaching of the Saddharma Pundarika Sutra, or the Lotus Sutra, on top of a water tower, giving Dharma teaching to my disciples there. Inside that river, I found a very strange rock, which I brought home. And I found the stone to be very, very interesting, very unusual. And then that night I had a dream, and the Dragon King appeared. So the water dragon god, or Dragon King, So there are ocean dragon kings, river dragon kings, stream dragon kings, and well dragon kings. So the dragon king also resides in wells. So the dragon king appeared and told me, "You took my palace." Oh. So the palace of that dragon king was in that rock. His palace is in that rock, that beautiful rock that I picked. So the stream dragon king's palace is in there. So the meaning here is very rare. Akasa Garbha. The accumulation of space. There are many tiny things that don't look nothing, but actually inside them there are many mystical and secrets in them. Right? Did it happen? Yes. I took the rock home, and the dragon king told me that it's his palace. So I picked a rock from that stream, and it turned out to be the palace of the stream dragon king palace. So that's why I said inside the rock there are also palaces and balconies and pavilions. It's the abode or the residence of a dragon king. Have you ever imagined it before? That is Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. Inside the body of Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, there is space, there is Tathagata. That's my explanation on Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. The next one is holding precious torch Bodhisattva. What is this precious? Precious means prajna, dharma treasure. The treasure of Sakyamuni Buddha is called prajna. And prajna can generate a kind of light, luminosity. Or you can say that wherever it shines on, then there would be brightness there. Wherever it shines, there would be brightness there. So this Bodhisattva has the treasure of prajna that can shines like a torch. So he's holding the treasure of Buddha Dharma and prajna just like light that would give brightness wherever it shines. So I don't know whether I should say this or not. It's related to politics, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. So and so is like the sun. There, wherever it shines on, there would be brightness. And so is like the moon, and it changes on the 1st or the 15th day. Is there such a statement? So and so is like the sun. Wherever it is, it gives brightness. And so is like the moon. It changes from day to day. So this holding precious torch bodhisattva is like the sun. This bodhisattva has the prajna light, and he carries this prajna light, and wherever he goes, there would be brightness there. And wherever this bodhisattva goes, that place will be very bright. Recently, I discovered something at my house, my residence, the Southern Mountain Retreat. Under my bed, it becomes a gathering spot for the ghosts. Right under my bed. So every time I got home and got to next to my bed, there would be a sound from under the bed. Every time I walk in, they would make sounds. So this is also the holding precious torch bodhisattva. So wherever I go, there would be sounds. But the holding precious torch bodhisattva is holding the light of prajna, of the Buddha, of Sakyamuni Buddha. Wherever he goes, there would be light. So this bodhisattva helps sentient beings so that sentient beings can attain or gain light and brightness. Now, do you understand? The next one is the precious courage bodhisattva. What is this precious courage bodhisattva? Because you have the light of wisdom, so wherever you shine, there would be light and brightness. So you have courage to move forward. Like Guru Padmasambhava that we just talked about earlier, that in Tibet there were many demons and goblins and all those strange spirits. So he was able to challenge all those demons and goblins and spirits all the way into Tibet, because he had Buddha Dharma, he had power. So by building the Samye monastery or temple, is that by subduing the yaksas there first before he was able to build the Samya temple. So the precious courage bodhisattva is like Guru Padmasambhava. He had a Buddha Dharma and transcendent power. He's not afraid of anything. All the evil spirits and demons and all the spirits could not win over them. They are very courageous. And that's the precious courage bodhisattva. Because you have the treasure, you have prajna, you have the great wisdom, so you can move forward with great courage and you're not scared wherever you go. And this kind of bodhisattva is called the precious courage bodhisattva. That don't go to a very dangerous or perilous places, like at my home, under my bed, they're all ghosts, but I'm a precious courage bodhisattva. You were there waiting for me to bardo deliver you, and you come out during the bardo deliverance, so I just sleep on it. So I discovered that there were many of them under my bed because it's quite dark. It was covered by the blanket. They didn't have any other space. It was full house inside the fridge, the cabinets. So now they hide under my bed. That was quite spacious. So when I got on bed, there were so many sounds under my bed. But because I have the prajna light, I'm not scared. So I sleep on the bed and I don't care about all the ghosts under the bed. I'm not afraid of the disturbances and I still sleep really well. And not only I sleep on my bed, I also sleep on the Dharma throne. As you all know, I can sleep sitting up. Of course, I can sleep lying down too. I can also sleep standing up as long as I can hold on to something. I can sleep anywhere. It's so easy for me to fall asleep. However, if I gather up my actions, I'm also very courageous. As long as I'm awake, I would be very courageous. So this is called the precious courage bodhisattva. Because I have the prajna light, I'm not afraid of anything. My recent book, number 293, I'm writing about the ghosts at my house. When visitors come to my house, they wouldn't be able to see the ghosts because they're all in hiding. It's no use to show to you because you're not able to see them. After the visitors leave, they all come out. They are not afraid of me because I will not harm them. I don't even want to harm the evil ghost, like the ghost from the Ghost Witch. I don't want to harm them either. But Akalanata and Mahabala all took care of them and chopped off their heads. If it had been me, I wouldn't have harmed them, even the evil spirits, because they are sentient beings too, and they have Buddha nature too. It's just they are not awakened yet. They are enshrouded by their evil intent. That's why we shouldn't harm any single thing. The next one is the precious view bodhisattva. So view or sight. So this precious view bodhisattva can see the prajna light and the dharma treasures of the Buddha. So in the school, we often capture the prajna light when we take pictures, circles of lights. Don't undermine them because there are mandalas inside the tiny prajna light. When you enlarge them, there are red threads and altar inside it. And there is a bodhisattva in each of the prajna lights. So when you capture prajna light, enlarge it, and you would be able to see there are city walls and pavilions, palaces, and with 4 gates. And at the center there is an altar, and on it sit a bodhisattva. So what is this precious view Bodhisattva? Is the Bodhisattva that can encounter the Tathagata Garbha. So the store of the Tathagata. So in our study of the middle way, there is a Buddhist scholar from China called Li Chen. He talked about Madhyamaka and Yogacara. And he said, Madhyamaka is actually Yogacara. There are no differences between the two. That Madhyamaka is the middle path between emptiness and falsehood. So the so-called Madhyamaka is deep, and the so-called Yogacara is broad. That everything, the consciousness only of everything. So actually, Yogacara and Madhyamaka are the same. For many Buddhists of the past, they criticize each other. The Madhyamaka people criticize Yogacara and vice versa. But Li Chen stated that Madhyamaka is also Yogacara, is also a kind of Yogacara. So it's something that they arrive at from emptiness and falsehood. So that's why it's called the middle way. And Yogacara is that everything is related to consciousness. That everything is related to consciousness. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, they're all consciousness. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness. So what you see is due to the eye consciousness, what you hear is due to the ear consciousness, and what you smell is due to the nose consciousness. And then there's body consciousness and mind consciousness, and the root of mind consciousness. And the last one, the eighth consciousness, is alaya. And then when you go deeper, it's called immaculate or amala consciousness. In Tantrayana, it's called the amala consciousness. That's the highest. So the eighth consciousness is called alaya. And then further is the ninth consciousness. And then when you go even further, is the 10th consciousness, Ambulu. So everything is related to consciousness. If you can comprehend this, and you have seen this, then you would be the precious view Bodhisattva. This was spoken by Li Chen. So that Madhyamaka is actually Yogacara. Therefore, Madhyamaka should not criticize Yogacara, and Yogacara should not criticize Madhyamaka either. But Tantrayana mostly talks about Madhyamaka. So therefore, most tantric traditions follows the Sautantrika Madhyamaka or Prasangika Madhyamaka. Like the Tang, the Xuanzang, the great monk of the monk Tang, China. At the Tzu temple, the Big Goose Pagoda. At the Sun and Moon Lake, we also have a Tzu Pagoda, right? So we have the Sarira of Xuanzang. right? At the Sun and Moon Lake. And Xuanzang translated many books, many Buddhist books, and also Channa and Chen Zhendi, and also Yi Jing. So this is from reading Li Chen's book. So I know what he said makes a lot of sense. That Madhyamaka and Yogacara should not be differentiated. So criticism that happens between the two traditions is not right, because they are actually the same thing. So if you can see the real consciousness and to understand the fineness, the most subtle, the most sublime of consciousness of Buddha Dharma, if you can comprehend all those, then such a bodhisattva is the precious view bodhisattva. So he can see all the prajna, the true wisdom. And the Madhyamaka is used the Yogacara. So that's why to truly understand Buddha Dharma, it's really not easy. It's deep and broad and subtle and marvelous and sublime. So to understand all this thing, you have to listen to the teaching of the teacher and to read many books. So the great master Xuanzang studied or learned Yogacara. So for the true Yogacara, you should read which sutra. Anybody can say that?
我告诉你，庄严经，玄奘大师翻译的《庄严经》，你看看有没有《庄严经》
？It's called 庄严经, translated by the great master Xuanzang, Yogacara Bhumi Sastra.
看手机有没有《庄严经》
I think.
李晨讲的，李晨讲的。
Check on the
你们读过李
internet.
晨的书吗？
It's written by Li Cheng. Anybody has read
全
his
部都是
book?
文言文哦。
It's all in
还好我
ancient
国学基础还好一点
Chinese.
我看得
Good
懂他的
thing
书
that I have
别人
good
是看不懂，我相信
linguistic
很多人看不懂。
foundation. I think many people would not be able to understand his book.
庄严经，大圣庄严经论，没错，这个是专门讲唯识的。
The Madhyamaka
庄严经是谁做
Vyuha
的？
Sutra that especially talk about
有的
Yogacara.
讲无着菩萨，有的讲弥勒菩萨。
So who is the author
因为弥
of
勒
this
无着
sutra?
菩萨也是跟弥
Some
勒菩
people
萨
say Asanga, some people say Maitreya, but
弥
it's
勒菩
okay
萨就是无
because
着菩萨的
Asanga
老师。
learned from Maitreya. So Maitreya is the guru or the teacher of
是
Asanga
讲无着菩
Bodhisattva.
萨住的也可以，
So you can say either way to be the
因
author
为这个东西就是弥勒菩萨传给无着菩萨。
because this thing was
因为他的兄弟
transmitted by
就叫
Maitreya
世
to Asanga and his brother Vasubandhu.
啊，
Vasubandhu Bodhisattva and Asanga Bodhisattva. And Nagarjuna Bodhisattva is with Aryadeva. That's guru and disciple. And Asanga and Vasubandhu were brothers. And Asanga and Vasubandhu authored Yogacara scriptures, and Nagarjuna and Aryadeva authored the Madhyamaka scriptures. So you need to understand this in your Buddhist studies. So if you can understand Yogacara and Madhyamaka, and then you can use them to teach sentient beings, then you would be called the precious view Bodhisattva. This is joke. There's nothing too hard in this world as long as you give up. The second one is live on. There's always a new challenges, new strikes every day. And you need to be diligent and to know that you're helpless. And then anything that can be solved by money, I cannot resolve. And that working hard doesn't necessarily mean success, but if you don't work hard, then you just relax. Then wherever you fall, you just lay there. And the seventh, if you eat until you're round enough, then nobody will look down on you. This is not appropriate for us Buddhists. Om Mani Padme Hum.